नमस्कार। समसामयिक विषयों पर आपके पसंदीदा कार्यक्रम विशेष में आप सभी का स्वागत है। मैं हूं प्रीति सिंह। कोविड महामारी का अर्थव्यवस्था पर कम से कम असर पड़े, इसके लिए केंद्र सरकार लगातार कदम उठा रही है। अर्थव्यवस्था को मजबूती देने के लिए सरकार ने आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान 3.0 की घोषणा की है। इस पैकेज के तहत 12 नए राहत उपायों की घोषणा की गई है। वित्त मंत्री निर्मला सीतारमण प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके इन उपायों की उन्होंने घोषणा की। इस दरमियान वित्त मंत्री ने बताया कि भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था काफी तेजी से रिकवर कर रही है। आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान 3 के तहत 2,65,080 करोड़ रुपए के 12 राहत उपायों की घोषणा की गई है। आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान 3 के तहत रोजगार बढ़ाने पर तो जोर दिया ही गया है, साथ ही इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की मजबूती का भी खास ख्याल रखा गया है। घरेलू विनिर्माण को बढ़ावा देने के साथ ही रियल एस्टेट को प्रोत्साहन भी देने के लिए कदम उठाए गए हैं। उद्योगों के लिए अतिरिक्त राशि की व्यवस्था करने के साथ ही निर्यात को बढ़ावा देने के लिए भी ज्यादा पैसा मुहैया कराया जाएगा। कोविड महामारी की शुरुआत के बाद से सरकार और आरबीआई की ओर से अब तक कुल 29,87,000 लाख करोड़ रुपए के प्रोत्साहन की घोषणा हुई है। ये जीडीपी का 15% है। अगर इस राशि के अलग अलग मदों को समझें तो प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण पैकेज के तहत 1,92,800 करोड़ रुपए का आवंटन किया गया। आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान 1 के तहत 11,02,650 करोड़ रुपए का आवंटन किया गया। प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना के तहत आवंटन की राशि 82,911 करोड़ रुपए है। वहीं आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान 2 के तहत 73,000 करोड़ रुपए का आवंटन किया गया। आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान 3 के तहत 2,65,080 करोड़ रुपए की राशि अर्थव्यवस्था को प्रोत्साहन देने के लिए रखी गई है। इसके अलावा 31 अक्टूबर 2020 तक आरबीआई की ओर से 12,71,200 करोड़ रुपए के उपायों की घोषणा की गई है। आज के विशेष में हम आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान 3 के तहत किए गए 12 नए राहत उपायों के बारे में जानेंगे। तो आइए शुरू करते हैं आज का विशेष। आत्मनिर्भर भारत 3 के जरिए धनतेरस के दिन वित्त मंत्री निर्मला सीतारमण ने देश और उद्योग को आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान 3 की सौगात दी। इस मौके पर उन्होंने कहा कि देश की अर्थव्यवस्था में तेजी से मजबूती आ रही है।
The economy, you are aware, in the last 10-15 days there have been quite a few measures and steps and indicators which have shown that the recovery is happening and distinctly clearly happening. The composite purchase managers index has risen to 58.9 in October, and the previous month it was at 54.6, and therefore this is the strongest increase that you've seen in output in close to 9 years. So that itself shows it is just not the pent-up demand but also a strong pitch for recovery. The next is about the energy consumption growth. That's been at a very high level. If you look at year-on-year comparison, it's at 12% October to October, 20, 2021. The GST collections, of course, even as it was announced, had touched 1.05 gross, 1.05 lakh crores, and it's a 10% year-on-year comparison. Daily railway freight tonnage also has grown by 20% year-on-year, and if you were to look at the previous week comparison, we are taking it that it is year-on-year 12% was the figure earlier. Bank credit, which most often we have this little worry that credit flow is slowed, but I would like to say here, bank credit year-on-year growth improved by 5.1% as of 23rd October 2020. Of course, markets, you're watching, markets are at record high. Record market capitalization is happening. Net investments, FPIs, is positive, and the reserves like never before of foreign exchange is at $560 billion.
आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान 3 के तहत रोजगार को प्राथमिकता देते हुए सरकार ने आत्मनिर्भर भारत रोजगार योजना का ऐलान किया। संगठित क्षेत्र की कंपनियों के लिए बनाई गई इस योजना का लाभ उन संस्थानों को मिलेगा जो नई नौकरियां दे रहे हैं।
The new scheme, which we are now calling as Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana, is being launched so that we incentivize creation of new employment opportunities so that the recovery phase benefits from it. What does this mean? It means that every EPFO registered establishment, those registered establishment, if they take new employees who never were covered by EPFO earlier, if they take them on, or if they bring in employees who had lost their jobs between 1st March 2020 and 30th September 2020, even they will be counted as new employees, although they may have an EPFO number earlier. Both will benefit from this. EPFO registered organizations, if they bring in new employees, new employee being those who didn't have an EPFO number earlier, or new employee being those who lost the job between 1st March and 30th September of this year, will all be counted as new employee who join or who get recruited by EPFO registered organization. They will get some benefits. The benefits I'll explain in a minute, but this is the new scheme which we are launching now. This will be effective from 1st October 2020. So EPFO registered organizations which recruit new employees from 1st October will be covered. They will be covered for the next 2 years. The earlier scheme covered for 3 years. Now it will cover for 2 years.
इमरजेंसी क्रेडिट लाइन गारंटी स्कीम का फायदा अब 31 मार्च 2021 तक कर दिया गया है। इसके तहत बिना ब्याज का लोन मिलेगा। मुद्रा लोन के तहत लोन लेने वाले लोग भी इसमें शामिल हैं। अब तक 61 लाख लोगों को 2.5 लाख करोड़ रुपए का लोन पास किया गया है।
The emergency credit line guarantee scheme, which was announced in the Atmanirbhar 1.0, gets extended till 31st March 2021. You probably also were informed that from October, it was extended till 30th November. Devashish is here, he can correct me. From October to, it was extended by 1 month to reach 30th November as the deadline for the EC LGS scheme. But now we are extending it up to 31st March 2021. The details of the scheme is very well known to you, but I'll repeat. It is fully guaranteed loan, it is collateral-free loan, and it gives additional credit of 20% of your outstanding loans. And outstanding loans will be decided based on your balance as of 29th February 2020. And outstanding credit limit was about 50 crores. So all this taken on board, we also then extended it for annual turnover up to 250 crores. Earlier we covered only 50 crores, then we moved over to 250. Earlier we covered only MSMEs. Then during the tenure of it, we extended it to even business enterprises and also for individual professionals. Mudra loans, all of them got covered. We kept expanding the scope of the ECGLS. I'm happy to report that as of 12th November, today, 2.05 lakh crores have been sanctioned to 61 lakh borrowers, and of which 1.52 lakh crores have already been disbursed into the accounts of those borrowers.
प्रोडक्शन लिंक्ड इंसेंटिव यानी पीएलआई के लिए 10 चैंपियन सेक्टर को चुना गया है। उत्पादन से जुड़ी प्रोत्साहन यानी पीएलआई योजना के तहत अगले 5 साल में 1,46,000 करोड़ रुपए का आवंटन किया जाएगा।
$51,355 crores have been earmarked for 3 sectors. This is now 10 sectors, but earlier it was 3 sectors, of which the mobile manufacturing and some specified electronic components received 40,995 crores. Then the key starting materials, which is for the pharmaceutical and the APIs at the cost of 6,940 crores, and the manufacturing of medical devices at 3,420 crores was the first announcement of the earlier PLI, which covered 3 sectors. Now the new one, which you got to know yesterday after the cabinet approved it, covers 10 such sectors, 10 more such sectors, 3 already being given. Now they will also benefit from a productivity linked incentive scheme. Yesterday when I met you all, I had very clearly said that's part of the Atmanirbhar. It covers sunrise sectors, it covers labor intensive sectors, and it also covers those sectors through which India hopes to link with the global value chain, and therefore very outward looking, very supportive, encouraging of exports and bringing investment and manufacturing to India.
पीएम आवास योजना शहरी के तहत 18,000 करोड़ रुपए की अतिरिक्त राशि की मदद दी जाएगी। ये रकम बजट में तय रकम से अलग है। बजट में 8,000 करोड़ रुपए खर्च का प्रावधान था।
PM Awas Yojana Urban, where a lot of measures have been taken in the past several months for the revival of housing and real estate sector. And these measures have all contributed to a good recovery. Today, many of you all have covered in your own respective newspapers and the media which you talk about, in which you're talking about how the real estate is seeing a good lot of movement. And I'm glad to say that different schemes which were launched are receiving good traction. There was this, since the early part of this year, there was this worry that a lot of projects were remaining incomplete. Government came up with a Swami single window kind of a scheme through which those incomplete projects can be completed. 135 projects all over the country have had an outlay given of 13,200 crores. Many projects, nearly 87,000 stuck flats or houses are getting completed because of that. Now there are further measures which we are proposing here. 18,000 crores will be provided over and above the budget estimate which was mentioned in the 2020-21 budget under the PM Awas Yojana, particularly for the urban areas. And this extra budgetary resource being provided will help 12 lakh houses to be grounded. Those which have been getting constructed will get grounded, and 18 lakh houses will get completed as a result. So 8,000 crores will be provided even in this year. 8,000 crore, this is over and above the 8,000 crores which was mentioned in the BE, which is 8,000 crores. We are now giving 18,000 crores in order that 12 lakh houses can be grounded and 18 lakh houses can be completed. What we expect out of it is additional jobs to the extent of 78 lakhs will be created. 25 lakh metric tons of steel will now be bought and sold, and 131 lakh metric tons of cement will be bought and sold. Now, therefore, these are core sector which will be improving on their production and sale, which obviously will have a great multiplier effect on the economy.
कंस्ट्रक्शन और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सेक्टर की कंपनियों को पूंजी और बैंक गारंटी की दिक्कत आती थी। बैंक गारंटी के लिए 5 से 10% की परफॉर्मेंस सिक्योरिटी देनी पड़ती थी। अब इसे घटाकर 3% कर दिया गया है ताकि उनके पास काम करने लायक पैसा हो। ये स्कीम 31 दिसंबर 2021 तक लागू रहेगी।
Performance security on contracts will now be reduced to 3% instead of 5 to 10%. Will be extended. This will be extended to all ongoing contracts which are free of disputes. This will also be extended to the public sector enterprises. States also will be encouraged to come into this scheme. Therefore, bid security declaration will be sufficient, and that will replace the existing EMD. So earnest money deposit will not be required for tenders, and it will be sufficient if they provide bid security declaration. So it's almost like a self-declaration. A declaration is going to replace the EMDs. Relaxation of this kind, which we are proposing now, will be given only up to 31st December 2021, which means one full year beginning now, 31/12/2021. Till then, this is being given. Necessary changes in the general financial rules will be made so that this burden on the contractors will be reduced, and there will be a greater flexibility for them to get into construction and infrastructure, because infrastructure is something which we are prioritizing. And we need them to come in with greater ease. If they didn't have enough cash to provide all those costs for the bank guarantees, they shouldn't be hesitating. So we removed that.
रियल एस्टेट को प्रोत्साहन देने के लिए भी राहत उपाय की घोषणा की गई है। पहली बार घर बेचने में जहां पहले सर्कल रेट और वैल्यू रेट में 10% की छूट मिलती थी, अब इसे बढ़ाकर 20% कर दिया गया है।
Differential between circle rate and the agreement value, about 10%. Prices may be lower than that, but up to 10% you get relief. Now what we've decided is to increase the differential from 10% to 20% from the period, for the period from the date of this announcement to 30th June 2021 for only primary sales. So the first sale of residential units of value up to 2 crores. So this scheme, where the differential is increased from 10% to 20%, is applicable only till 30th June 2021, and is applicable only for those residential units which are 2 crores and less. And therefore, if you were to buy, both the home buyers and the developers get this benefit. This relief of up to 20% shall be allowed for both, and the necessary amendments in the IT Acts will be done in the due course, through this particular step, we expect a lot of clearance of inventory, and people will be able to pay less in terms of the differential on which the tax is collected, and the differential is now increased, the gap is now reduced, and therefore they will end up paying far lesser in case of the circle rate differential which affects them.
इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के लिए डेथ फाइनेंसिंग का प्रावधान किया गया है। इसके लिए सरकार 6,000 करोड़ रुपए की मदद करेगी।
Infusion of equity to the extent of 6,000 crores to the NIIF debt platform. You are aware that NIIF in this country attracts a lot of sovereign fund for investment in infrastructure related activities. Now it also has a debt platform through which it raises a lot of money, and by 2025 it has to provide an infra funding to the extent of 1,10,000 crores, which we have announced, National Infrastructure Pipeline. Now we are also giving them fund to be able to, we are giving equity, it will also have private participation. NIIF itself is investing some amount so that there is a debt platform through which it can raise money for funding infrastructure. So we are now giving 6,000 crores of equity to the debt platform of NIIF, where private equity participation will also come in. NIIF itself has invested 2,000 crores. So by 2025, they will have to fund projects to the extent of 1,10,000 crores. We are creating this avenue for them to do it even through the debt market.
सरकार ने आगामी फसल सीजन में किसानों के लिए उर्वरक की उपलब्धता को सुनिश्चित करने के लिए भी कदम उठाए हैं। उर्वरक सब्सिडी के लिए 65,000 करोड़ रुपए देने का ऐलान किया है ताकि किसानों को आसानी से उर्वरक मिल सके। इससे 14 करोड़ किसानों को फायदा होगा।
$65,000 crores subsidy for fertilizers, which will benefit farmers. Now, what is important to notice here is from somewhere near 500 lakh metric tons, which was fertilizer consumption in this country between 2016-17, we expect in 2020-2021, it will increase to the extent of 673 lakh metric tons. So farmers are reaping the benefit of a favorable monsoon. The sown area, so the growing area of crops has extended, increased manifold. As a result, farmers are to be ensured adequate supply of fertilizers, and this increased supply of fertilizers we assess will benefit 140 million farmers, and therefore 65,000 crores is being given to ensure that the forthcoming Kharif will not suffer for want of fertilizer. Farmers should be ensured that they have done a splendid work during Kharif. Now forthcoming Rabi and after that the Kharif after that should be somewhere farmers should be ensured adequate supply of fertilizer is given. 65,000 crores for it.
प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण रोजगार योजना के लिए अतिरिक्त 10,000 करोड़ रुपए की राशि देने का ऐलान किया गया है। इस योजना के तहत 116 जिलों के प्रवासी मजदूरों को उनके राज्य में रोजगार देने का काम किया जा रहा है।
During the Garib Kalyan Rozgar Yojana, during the lockdown that we announced, 116 districts were brought together where the migrant laborers had gone back. 25,000 was the minimum number of migrant laborers who had reached those districts, for whom money was spent, and 37,543 crores have been spent till date on that. That scheme ended as of October 31st, if you remember correct. That was only for a limited number of days. We have spent that kind of money in those 116 districts. Now, this Garib Kalyan Rozgar Yojana had brought together the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme and also the Garib Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Both of them were also brought together so that rural employment can be encouraged. We also gave a 40,000 crore in addition during the Atmanirbhar Bharat 1.0 announcement. So with that announcement of 40,000 crore, Manrega had crossed 1 lakh crore outlay. Now what we are saying is also to underline the fact that out of that 1 lakh crore, 61,000 during the BE, 40,000 during Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan 1.0, both put together over 1 lakh. Of that, 73,504 crores have already been spent, and 251 crore person days of employment were generated. This 9th announcement is for another additional outlay of 10,000 crore. This will be part of the PM Garib Kalyan Rozgar Yojana. It can be used for Manrega, it can be used for Gram Sadak Yojana to ensure that the rural informal sector doesn't suffer for opportunities. So this money goes there.
आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान 3 के तहत निर्यात को बढ़ाने के लिए भी उपाय किए गए हैं। 3,000 करोड़ रुपए एक्सिम बैंक को दिए जाएंगे। लाइन ऑफ क्रेडिट बढ़ने से कंपनियों को फायदा होगा।
We will boost exports, and this is done through the additional 3,000 crores which we want to give the Exim Bank for promoting exports which happen through the lines of credit. Now, when exports are mandated through it, most of the recipient countries, when they build something or when they use this money for various activities that they do, they could be getting Indian products, whether they are projects for railways being done somewhere, power projects being built somewhere. India helps them by providing goods from India. So railway projects, power, transmission lines, roads, or anything to do with transport, auto components, even sugar projects, all of them are supported. There are about 811 export contracts which are undergoing through the IDS scheme, and 10.5 billion US dollars are provided through the line of credit. Exim Bank gets 3,000 crores just for this activity under LOC, line of credit.
घरेलू उत्पादन को बढ़ाने के लिए भी कदम उठाए गए हैं। उद्योग को प्रोत्साहन देने के लिए ग्रीन एनर्जी या डोमेस्टिक डिफेंस कंपनी को पूंजीगत व्यय करने के लिए 10,200 करोड़ रुपए आवंटन करने का ऐलान किया गया है।
$10,200 crores additionally is being provided so that capital and industrial expenditure can be undertaken. These will be primarily through the defense equipment. Domestic defense equipment manufacturers will benefit from it. Industrial incentives, industrial infrastructure, and green energy. For these purposes, 10,200 crores are being additionally provided. You may recall that during Atmanirbhar package, 25,000 crore was given over and above the budgetary capital allocation which was made. In the BE, I think broadly about 4 lakh crores were given. Now, with the Atmanirbhar package announcement, we gave 25,000. Now, an additional 10,200 crore of budgetary outlays being made, over and above the budget provisions, in order that the capital and industrial stimulus is given a proper priority.
कोविड सुरक्षा मिशन के लिए सरकार ने 900 करोड़ रुपए देने का ऐलान किया है। इस राशि से कोरोना वैक्सीन पर अनुसंधान और विकास को प्रोत्साहन देने पर खर्च किया जाएगा।
We provide not a very big sum, you may think, but 900 crores for research and development as regards the COVID vaccine development which is happening. And this is being provided for the COVID Suraksha mission, purely for R&D purposes. And please notice that this money goes to the Department of Biotechnology, not health. It goes to the Department of Biotechnology for research purposes. Now, automatically, the question arises, is this what is being provided for COVID vaccine? No, this is for provision towards research activity related to the vaccine. The actual cost of the vaccine or the logistics for the vaccine to be distributed to the country is a totally different matter. We are not talking about that here.
इसी के साथ आज के विशेष में फिलहाल इतना ही। उम्मीद है आपको विशेष का ये अंक पसंद आया होगा। आप हमारा ये कार्यक्रम YouTube पर भी देख सकते हैं, जहां में आपकी प्रतिक्रियाओं और सुझाव का बेसब्री से इंतजार रहता है। देश और दुनिया की तमाम खबरों के लिए देखते रहिए राज्यसभा टीवी। नमस्कार।